Hey everyone, it's Cindy again. I am here with Omashar, and we were just having a crazy, wonderful conversation. And so we're going to go ahead and click the go live button to share it with you, because Omashar is going to be, he's a featured musician for our upcoming End of Seeking conference. And he and I were just talking about how beautiful music is as part of where we are in our spiritual connection and our spiritual path. And so,
yes, and how it helps us lift our vibration and frequency, and what an awesome modality it is, and how blessed I have been. And it was actually my mum when I was, I'm currently living in Colorado. I spent the last decade plus living in Hawaii, where I was music director for Unity in Kauai, and that was a beautiful experience from the perspective that aloha, which to a Westerner, let's say, is kind of like a holiday theme, but aloha to me is deeper than namaste almost. And what I learned in Hawaii is that love is palpable. It's palpable in the consciousness of the people of Hawaii, because from one perspective, from one perspective, Hawaii is the remnants of Lemuria. And so the vibration that high gold vibe is there. And I saturated myself in it for over a decade. But it also has the tendency, the propensity to put you to sleep. Not to sleep, but you just want to lie under a palm tree in a hammock. And so I set myself up with 2 gigs in Kauai, and one was well, I didn't set myself up, Spirit set myself up. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Got to have a true ownership here. And through me, arrived at my doorstep to be the musical director of Unity of Kauai, but also this little cafe situation. And it was very interesting to me because I just, with my partner, then had a new daughter. And so my daughter would come with me right from 3 years old till 9 years old to church every Sunday. She was sitting in the back eating her chips and listening to Dora the Explorer, let's say. And but she got imbued with this vibe too, which I think is wonderful, bringing our new generation in. So where was I? I was in Hawaii. And so just feeling the palpability of love in the air, and the love in the culture that is the Hawaiian culture was phenomenal. Yes, there's a lot of rock and roll, as in some disharmony going down there, but the culture, even the governmental state laws there have aloha intrinsic within the law structure. No one gets left behind. And I think I'll stop there and let you say something, Cindy.
well, the first thing I want to do is find out where in Colorado you
are. Close to Boulder. And but I'm also traveling a lot. I've been to England twice this year, and I was at an event in Peru just a few months ago as well, where I'll be going in October of this year, another event in Peru.
Well, part of the reason I asked is tomorrow I'm doing a Facebook Live with a man by the name of Jeff Bailey, who is my yoga instructor. I don't know if you know Jeff, but he's currently in Minnesota, but his studio was in Boulder. So,
really? So I need to go get yoga.
You need to meet Jeff. That's just, yeah. So Jeff is very involved in this whole non-dual community. I met Jeff at a Pure Presence conference about 1.5 years ago. I did an interview just like this one, Omashar, and I started to cry in the middle of the interview. And I looked at him right there in the middle of the interview, and I said, I don't know what's going on right here, but my whole system wants what you are offering. And at that point, in that moment, during a Facebook Live just like this one, I became his student. I do about an hour of yoga. His yoga is all online, and
phenomenal. So I'm going to have to connect with him too, because I'm in a stage now where, you know, the pandemic, I know it's brought up always. It kind of slam dunked all of us but especially those of us on the cusp of awakening within ourselves to the temple of God within ourselves. You know, it's like what happened to me. I was drop kicked, literally. I was shaken, rattled, and rolled so radically that I kind of lost my faith, not my faith, but faith in humanity and everything. But what it did was it knocked enough of the cobwebs, the onion skins, the layers of my mind and my psyche to remind me of who I intrinsically was before, inside, presently, let's say. And also all of the work that I've done over the last decades to keep myself clear of the effluvia of the outer world, let's say, the dualistic world. And one thing that I've learned through several modalities, including, of course, the Course of Miracles. And the beauty of it is that it's led to this non-dualistic place, because we're not dueling, you know, in the old way, you know, jewel or jewel, you know, where it's a polarity, if you want to. Semantics can get in the way here a little bit, but polarity is love and light. We're just a balance of love and light, learning to express through a form which has been, from my perspective, really messed up and really denigrated and trashed, and every word we don't want to even think of it anymore. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. And so the pandemic came along and whacked me off I wasn't on a pedestal or on a soapbox, but I was somewhere in my ego where my ego thought it had life together, and it got crushed. And I have an acquaintance, Greg Braden, of course, and his thing is, it's called the steamroller of change. The steamroller of change comes through your life, literally, and it looks back, and if everything hasn't been got, it reverses over you again until everything is just squeezed out of your life. And so I have the blessing of being in kind of an interim place at the moment in Colorado. For a couple of decades, all I did was travel the world. I played music in 33 countries without any advertising whatsoever, just word of mouth. And I presented a workshop called Accessing the Sacred Heart in many South American countries and in Europe. I haven't done that lately, but within the last decade. However, the power of music to transmute and uplift our vibration and our frequency is amazing. You know, you can have the thickest, densest day in your mind, and you can hear a song of spirit, and it'll just distill everything that was rotten out of you and bring you to a place of centering again. And when we're in the center, you know, be here now, we know that one, Ram Dass. Be here now, it's great, but it becomes just a mental effluvia. And I was in a situation yesterday, you know, I have a little, as you expand consciously, which is expanding in, kind of, sort of, well, it is definitely 100%, but it's hard to communicate. You hit your ceilings. I've been hitting these glass ceilings lately, and one of the glass ceilings for me is self-worth. And so I play music. I've played music to thousands of people, you know, millions of hours. But every time I get there, there's this thing: oh, they don't like my music, they don't like me, I've got to look a certain way. It's kind of devastating, and I managed to get rid of it, let's say, for a while there. But now that I'm, you know, every day for me is a conscious effort to allow spirit to guide my life. And I've hit another glass ceiling of self-worth again, and it's like, wow, where is this? And I'm realizing it's stored in my body, which is possibly why the yoga potential is really a good forward opportunity for me, because I can, you know, start shaking. I've got to get this temple ready for spirit to fully inhabit it, let's say, and I am, and we are, and it shows like this, Pure Presence conferences and other modalities like this that have taken root online, and they're building exponentially. This amazing team of people, because we're all lifting together. It's not me individually doing it, it's me and Cindy and Bill and Lindsay and what's the granddaughter's name? Macy?
Macy, yeah.
It's all of us. We're doing this together.
Yes.
As a collective. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you, right here and now, it's metaphysical pop. I love that terminology.
I call it metaphysical pop. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I used to be in pop rock bands in New Zealand, and we almost had a #1 hit, but someone more famous got to it, and I realized that all the songs I was writing were kind of partially based in relationship, and they were partially based in victimhood. So I decided to draw a line through it and never write a song like that ever again. Only when I'm open to spirit will I write a song, and I called it metaphysical pop music, meta pop, and it goes from everything from rock and roll, not rock and roll, the old style, but everything from loud and bop your head and drums and guitar to really gentle, heart centering stuff. And I'd like to play you a little song called "Breathe Me In Now," if that's okay.
I would love that.
We're about 10 minutes in, aren't we? So
we are. That's pretty much just about where we said we wanted to be when you started to play for us.
And so now we have 18 seconds left before I'm joking here. So I'm just going to click my clicker, and I shall sing a little song. See what happens. All right. From my heart to yours. Deep breath. When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. When the smile has left your face, and the tears roll down your cheeks, slow down, and breathe. When your river's running dry, and you're driven to your knees, slow down, and breathe. I am watching you, waiting for you to let my love into that lonely life of yours. Listen to me, and we can be together free. When you're feeling out of touch, and you need someone to hold, slow down, and breathe me in. Slow down, and breathe me in.
You know, when I was having a conversation yesterday with Jeffrey Martin, who will be at the conference, he's an academic. One of the things, and it'll be the first time he's at a Pure Presence conference, but he was looking at the lineup. I said to him, it's a party. That's the energy I was feeling when I was listening to you, the understanding that I think we're heading towards 2,000 people already registered for this weekend. It's all online. It's free, and we have absolutely stunningly beautiful music. My heart feels open, and we have yoga sessions, and we have Rupert Spira and Ganjaji, and
it's truly a party. It's a coming together of like-minded souls, and when you're making your mind up whether to give your energy to a conference like this, because it is a commitment, there's the hesitation, the reticence to jump in. But what I found that when I jump in, I'm so enlivened, the cells of my body get lifted up as I see all of these other aspects of me presenting. And I believe you just did a Facebook Live with somebody in Italy. Who is that?
Shakti Katarina.
Right there.
Energy. Yeah. And tomorrow I'll be having a conversation with a woman who will be teaching from Australia. You know, tomorrow night I'll be in Australia, you know.
And right there, yes. And so I've what's happened with my music is, as I mentioned earlier, 33 countries, and I got brought up in England, and Brits are very well known for having a stiff upper lip and thinking that they ruled the world and they invented the English language. And it took me traveling everywhere to open my heart to every nation on this world, and sing my songs. And where was I going with that one? I do not know. It doesn't really matter. But we are a global awakening now, and technology has allowed it to be so. And I encourage all of us to take this step, and you will see that which you are and that which you're meant to be. And it's not an alone thing anymore. It might feel a little alone when we're still in our Zoom rooms and in our studios, etc. at home, but it's not. We are all putting our hands out to each other, our hearts out to each other. And the moment we touch, we become 1,000 times brighter than we were previous to that. And so I'm encouraging anybody watching to sign up. It is free, and it's phenomenal. You know, non-dualistic understanding. Wow. Goodness me. This is the beginning of the golden age right here. Well, it's already in. We're already in it a little bit.
And you and I were talking about this a little bit. I really should have had the record button on right when we first started talking, because there was some real juice in it. But when I was just talking to Shakti, she really was talking about the fact that it's this divine love that has scripted this moment.
It is. It's divine love that brought us together right now. And what I find is the more I awaken within myself, the more my old self tries to get my attention and pull me out of these delicious opportunities to be with Cindy and Bill and whomever. And luckily, I think I'm past the 50-50%. Okay, my old self just wants me to kick back and put my feet up and have a cup of tea. and my brand new self wants to just connect with people and share, because, you know, ultimately, from my perspective anyway, we are the source of all creation is to emanate out from us into the world, not to teach, so to speak, just to be, and just to, you know, we are rebuilding, let's say, reclaiming, I'm not too sure of the verbiage there, the Garden of Eden within ourselves and in the world, and this is one of the platforms in which we do it together, and thank you for this opportunity.
Well, I do believe that if you're listening to us right now, that it's a real invitation from whatever it is that's running the show for you to say yes.
Yes.
To come and hang out with any of the speakers that, you know, you're feeling drawn to, or you seriously resist, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, that's a whole other story, but that's true, exactly. Yes. I remember the last Pure Presence conferences, there was a whole bunch of people, and I would press sometimes random speakers, people who I would not be attractive to, and I would listen to the whole session because it was such food for me. And yeah, it's brilliant. Yes.
Very good. Well, this is our invitation for you to come hang out with Omashar, with myself, with what I expect at this point to be well over 2,000 others. And all you really have to do to join us at the End of Seeking conference is click that registration button and give us some details so we can tell you, so we can contact you.
That's right. And you realize that saying yes is saying yes to yourself. It truly is. And there are, you know, this is one of the top shelf events in the world. There's a proliferary of them out there right now. This is top shelf.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Omashar.
Thank you, Cindy.
And for your music. It was, I'm going to be, well, I have the recording. I could always pull it out and do whatever I want with it.
Yes.
But thank you for being here. Please hit the share button and then register, and we'll see you in less than 2 weeks at the End of Seeking conference.
Namaste.
Namaste.